Welcome to another fun-packed, thrilling, award-winning, critically acclaimed version show episode of Positively Governmental with Dave and Wade. This is Dave Furneaux and Wade Evans, your
Good
two.
afternoon, everyone.
Uh,
We got the council curmudgeon and the council hothead.
There you
You
go.
decide which one's what, which one's which.
Yeah, what hat am I wearing tonight? Am I curmudgeon tonight?
I'm not sure.
All right.
Guess we'll see as we go.
All right. Short council meeting. We're like 20 minutes, and that's with all the fluff at the beginning and end, all the announcements and all that kind of good stuff. It's about actually it wasn't that short. We had the discussion on the COVID money, so that was 90% of the meeting. There was only one item. It was to approve some a contract for the
Body cams and tasers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Councilman Roy.
there you go. Of course, that flew through. That's just a formality. So, COVID money. You want to take the lead on this one, and I'll talk about streets later.
Well, I mean, the thing about the COVID money is we've got 10,800,000 and something and 3 cents.
3 cents.
And, I don't know when the 3 cents will start compounding, but surely with that amount of money, if it's in any kind of escrow, we should have more by the time we get it. But it's basically part of the COVID bill that the feds passed, and they're divvying money up to cities based on population. Central was very lucky. We actually prospered during COVID as a city. Our sales tax collections were up because I think it's anecdotal, but my reasons is because we were all staying home and spending our money locally and eating more groceries because we weren't going out, and we were spending more money and here locally. So,
and we bought some 2x4s, and they're really expensive.
Yeah, 2x4s. If you built a deck here recently, you really helped the city a lot. We do appreciate that. But no, at the end of the day, this money it has some very strict rules behind it, and it's exciting to think that we have one-time money, that we have a chance to do some improvements in our city that can benefit our citizens. I mean, I'm not a fan of the redistribution type model, but I'm not sure that if we were to say we didn't want the money, if it wouldn't just go into the black hole of the federal bureaucracy and get lost. So,
well, I'm with you, Wade. I'm not big on the government transitioning and redistributing money. And I have a grandson. Have I mentioned that I have a grandson?
You have, and I think right now he owes about $380,000.
That's what I was going to say. Every time he's a year old now, and he doesn't really get this. When I see him, I say, Emerson, I'm sorry. And of course, he just smiles and giggles and stuff. But I'm apologizing because his generation is going to be paying this back.
Yes.
There's no such thing as free money. So,
No.
However, you make a great point. If there's going to be pork, we want a slice of the bacon for Central. So, we got to go ahead and use it wisely.
Yes. And use it for one-time improvements that can change the course of our future with broadband type or last mile internet, making sure everybody's connected. We can use it to improve our sewer. Obviously, if we're staying home, we're using a lot more sewer than we normally would because we're using the facilities in our city and not at our workplace. We have a sewer master plan that I'm itching to at least start carving some projects that have been planned and said that we needed to do, but it's time to knock the cobwebs off the old sewer master plan and see what we can do to improve, that in Central. And I understand we were talking about the money for drainage, and I know it's going to be, there's still some questions on how that can be used, but one of the things that with Central being the lay of the land that it is in Central, it's about a 2% grade from north to south. So that means the water that goes in the watersheds flows south, and there's 5 watersheds, not counting the co-meet and A-meet. It's a possibility that we could utilize some of this for some regional detention to lessen the burden downstream on our residents in some of the watersheds. So great opportunity. I think you brought up a very valid point, and that's that we need to bring on the services of a qualified professional firm that that knows this bill inside and out, so we don't spend money that's not approved and then in turn have to repay it.
Yeah, just some technicalities on it. If you hear something about the American Rescue Plan, that's what this is. We're calling it the COVID money. It's the federal government's way of saying they're rescuing all of us by spending future tax dollars. So we're being rescued to the point of $10.8 million, and bringing in the outside contractor is absolutely the right decision. Professional. I know that Shenivar Sanji was at the meeting, and they are actually doing a presentation on this American Rescue Plan at the LMA meeting, Louisiana Municipal Association meeting next month or late this month. So they're pretty expert at it.
Do we know what the RS? Okay, so I know that CS. Do we know what the RS? I'd like for you to start calling them by all four names.
Shenivar, Sanji, Roddy, and Soderberg. How about that, buddy?
Yeah, I would like for you to spell that out every time. Since you don't, since you go.
Look, this is taped. This is taped. You can play that back anytime you want to. So a couple of the technicalities, we get $5.4 million of it like in the next week or two, and Ms. Susanna Cowart, our accountant, is working on getting those forms processed through, so they dump that money in our checking account, and then the other $5.4 million comes in a year. Then we have till the end of 2024 to spend it. I'm sorry, to either spend it or commit it. So if we were going to do a big drainage infrastructure project, it could last until the end of 2026, but it has to already be committed to before the end of 2024. So we're on a 3-year time frame to get it effectively committed and contracted out, and then we got a couple of years after that to finish the projects.
It kind of reminds me of that old movie. Was it Eddie Murphy or Dan Aykroyd? Inherited.
Yeah.
Who was that? Inherited the $1 billion.
Trading Places.
Yeah. No, there was one of them where the guy, maybe it was a different actor. Anyway, he had $1 billion he had to spend in 30 days, and he could only spend it on certain things. But it was a great movie, very funny. He managed to do it. And I think if we involve the public in this decision and catch a good ear for what their wants, needs, and desires are, utilizing their input to make our decisions, I think it's a very smart way to spend one-time money.
Yeah, you keep saying the word one time. It's really important we not spend this on something that's a recurring expense. Let's don't launch into a program that's going to be a 20-year expense, X number of dollars a year. We need to be in and out and done with it and then go back to our regular budget. I had something really important to say, and I forgot what it was.
It happens when I bring up movies that I can't remember the name of.
There you go. So, I know what it was. It's kind of a funnel. We start with, hey, there's all this money. And hire the professional and say, what can we spend it for? Now, there's a lot of other categories, healthcare issues and income replacement and things like that, but we didn't suffer from income-wise. So we narrowed down to just a few categories. And having an engineering firm come in and say, here are your options. Now we're out of trouble. We can spend it for the right things. Once we have that, public meetings, input, propose it to the public, take the input, and then roll. We need to get that done in the next probably 30, 60 days at the most.
Yeah.
So,
all right. So then the workshop, huh? I mean,
Streets Workshop.
That was great.
It was basically an opportunity to just change our mindset. We have done very little in the last, in this administration, actually in administrations prior to this, very little in the way of just recognizing that street maintenance is something we just have to do all the time. It's been a project mentality. Hey, we've saved up some money. Now let's go find a pothole and fix it. Or let's go find a road that needs overlaying. All the roads need overlaying. Since I've really been thinking about this street money, I went out to say, let me see if I can find some streets that need work. And what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to find some streets that don't need work.
There you go. And that's what you're going to find.
And we're not talking about the major things like Sullivan, Wax, Hooper, and that. Those are state and parish roads. We're talking about all the subdivisions, Core, Gurney, Lovett, roads like that, kind of the medium feeder roads and all the subdivisions. So we got 160 miles of road. And my math says that we could overlay, fix, repair probably every road in the city of Central in 10 years or less, maybe 5 or 6 years. We have $8 million in an account that we can only spend for road repairs. We got another $8 million that we can spend to build new roads, but you can't use that for repairs. This is all half-cent sales tax money, move EBR, and all, I'm sorry, the green light plan. Now, all the move EBR money, the stuff that for this last tax that was passed, that can all be used for road maintenance.
Anything roads.
Yep. So we can't spend it on drainage, we can't spend it on potato chips, so we have to spend it on roads. So let's get aggressive. And that was basically the purpose of the workshop, is to say, can we change our mindset? We could spend $8 million in the first year or so, and another $2.2 million every year until our roads are fixed. And I'm not a road guy. I'm kind of a numbers guy. It looks to me like 5 to 10 years, we could be the envy of every city around here, having all great roads.
My big issue with the roads is the other side of it is the resources that we dedicate to temporary patching and solving pothole solutions. Look, if we have a program where over the next 5 to 8 years, we can really redo every road that we own in Central, what does that do for our pothole crew? I mean, it allows us, and look, that's one good thing. You can't talk about privatization enough, because the difference in a city like Central and a city, any other that you think about, is all of our crew are cross-trained. So if we don't have enough potholes for them to fix, it doesn't mean they're not going to have a job. It means they will be put to another task.
Digging ditches.
We can become more efficient in other areas. And so the rough number for last year on just pothole repairs was around $200,000. And that's 1 mile of complete base failed road repair, where you totally grind up and redo the whole road, 1 mile. I mean, there's quite a few neighborhoods that could utilize that. And the point being, if we redo the roads and get them all up to shape, and we're keeping them in shape, these things will last many, many, many years, and that will allow our resources to be better spent elsewhere. So I think it's the mindset and changing how we want to do things is the key. And it was a great conversation. And Perry Whitney made a great point. You fix as many roads as you can afford to fix, and then you keep some roads. And that's what you do. There's no reason we don't have this money invested in a road account mutual fund. I mean, it's earning pennies on the dollar. It's earning quite a few more than pennies because of how much we've allowed to just accumulate. But I would imagine you ask any resident. Matter of fact, that the chamber did that study, and it showed that 60% of the respondents said Central roads were a detractor for anything they thought about as far as commercial growth or even living here. It was 60% of them said our roads were terrible. So, I mean, you can do the reverse math and realize 60% are in favor of fixing our roads, or you could at least ascertain that from those numbers. So.
Oh, I'm sure it's 100% of their favor, especially when they know it's no more tax dollars. We're just spending the money we're already taxing you for. And, I've heard it said over the years, we need to return every dollar of taxes that we get from people, need to return it in the form of goods and services. And I completely agree with that.
Well,
so
I'm liking it.
The only thing else I might try to do is ask the question, what's a public street? So it's a rhetorical question at this point, but I'm thinking any street the city owns and maintains and people can drive on without permission is a public street. What do you think, Wade?
I would have to say that Webster would probably define it the same way.
Well, common sense says that's what it is, and maybe we'll see that come up sometime.
Well, I'll tell you this. In a previous life, I was a landscape contractor, and we had a landscaping company, and we maintained quite a few neighborhoods, if you will, HOAs. And if you notice, there's a lot of roads in neighborhoods. There's a lot of truly gated communities. And a lot of reasons you see them communities gated is because some of the areas where they're at, the municipality either didn't take ownership of the streets, or the neighborhood said, hey, we want nice streets all the time, and we're going to put a gate up, and we're going to pay to keep our own streets up. And so unless it has a gate across it and the public is using their tax dollars to maintain it, that's a public road, baby.
That's what I'm
It doesn't
thinking.
matter how you slice it.
That's what I'm thinking.
If you take my tax dollars and shovel asphalt anywhere near it, it's a public road.
All right, well, maybe that'll come up sometime. That's all I got tonight, Wade. How about you?
I'm easy and done.
Okay.
I'm done. I thought I was happy with the workshop results. Look forward to moving forward. Look forward to working with our team to put a plan together. I'm excited about some drainage stuff. I did ask the mayor. Look, I get calls, and I'm sure you do too. Every time it rains, I get calls from somebody on Carrier Brown Road. I'm not sure if we've ever dug the ditches down Cary Road or Brown Road all the way from start to finish on both sides. So I asked him to get that started. So hopefully those residents will see some relief and have some more storage capacity in their ditches and not in their yards where they got to get out of their car and walk to their porch.
I was on Brown Road today going to Cajun Cypress, and they have storage capacity because even before the rain today, those ditches are already full. I'm talking about 2.5 feet full of water. It hadn't rained seriously in 2.5 days. We got a serious problem over there.
Maybe what we should do is do a budget ordinance and stock those ditches for recreational purposes. I mean, maybe it'll make them happier. But hey, look, when we start going off on, once we start going off on these tangents, it's probably time to say goodbye.
All right, time for dinner. See y'all later. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you, guys. Take care. Bye, Dave.